Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Alpinestars C-1 Air jacket. Now, there's going to be a men's and women's version available, but the features are almost identical. But looking at this jacket, it's going to be aimed at summer riders out there that are looking to get as much airflow through the jacket to the body to cool them off as possible. I'm talking dead heat of summer, really in quite a few different categories of riding. You could be on a sport bike, you could be riding on an upright bike, you could be on a cafe cruiser, especially with this colorway. I think this one looks fantastic and almost the brown and black mixture. But really for a lot of riders out there, primarily looking for as much airflow through the jacket in the summer as they can possibly get. And the bonus is it's only $170, so you're coming well under that $200 price point for a jacket from a key brand in the industry that typically comes in around $250 to $300. So there are some caveats with that. It is CE level A rated. There are AA options out there if you want. The TGB Plus R V4 jacket is right there if you want to CE AA. But you do get Nucleon armor in the shoulders and elbows, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and this 450 denier polyester down the outer seams to make sure that you are protected should you hit the deck. But it is CEA rated, but it is only $170. So again, back and forth, I dig it for the price point. Now, first up, we have Lee wearing the Stella C1 Air jacket for women. Now, Lee is 5'5", 130 pounds with a 36-inch bust measurement. She's currently wearing a size small, which is actually 2 sizes down from what the sizing chart would recommend. And now, while the sleeves are a little short, it's got a good drop tail and good mobility in the arms and everywhere else for the riding position. When we talk about sizing, I got Norman on my left. He is 6'3", 220 pounds with a 44-inch chest, currently wearing a size extra large, which is fitting him spot on. If you look at the sizing chart, it typically puts Norman in a 2 extra large. He almost always wears a extra large in Alpinestars, and this is no exception. So if you are using your chest measurement and referencing that size chart, you can almost get away with a half to a full size down from what they are recommending to have a nice secure fit, with the option to add extra armor underneath. If you want like a back protector, you do have that option in there. I do like in the women's version, it does go down all the way to a 2 extra small, up to a 2 extra large. So like they're offering even more options for petite riders out there. In the men's, it is extra small to 5 extra large. So for those huskier riders out there, and it does come in 5 colorways for the women, but I do like the 5 colorways. I think Alpinestars will constantly advance that, come out with new options each summer and each spring, just to give new options within the C1 Air line. But let's start at the top, work our way down, and start talking about it, see if it's right for you and your closet. Up at the top, you do have a 1-inch tall collar with a microfiber lining inside, so it's gonna be nice and comfortable. You're not gonna be feeling the 450 denier or the mesh up against your skin. You have a nice microfiber liner inside. Down the sides, you are looking at 450 denier polyester running down the exterior, and underneath the shoulder, I mentioned it before, you're getting Nucleon Flex Plus armor, which is CE level 1 rated. It is super soft. You can't even really tell on the silhouette that it's in there, but it's super soft, super malleable, and has plenty of ventilation going through. You can always upgrade it to their level 2 armor, the Pro Nucleon armor, if you really want. You have the option to add that in there, but I like they're including it at the shoulder as well as the elbow. The mesh from the chest, you can see, runs all the way down the inner sleeve, gives you a nice breathability straight to the armpit, which is awesome in summer riding conditions. And at the bicep, you do have a 2-position snap closure if you need to just cinch it in. If you're not going to the gym as much as Norman is here, where he's pushing the seams limits, you can go ahead and cinch that down on the bicep, but you don't get one at the forearm. Down at the cuff, the 450 denier does have a Velcro closure. I like that, especially at this price point. A lot of people buying this might be newer riders. If you have snaps at the wrist and you lean on your gas tank, you can scratch the paint on there. Velcro just eliminates that entirely for those still learning what to do out there. Coming up to the chest, you do have a full YKK zip main entry at the front, but then the rest of the front is all just mesh. You do get a seam to just hold in the shape of the overall jacket, but this cannot have more airflow in the front of the jacket unless it was just Norman riding without a shirt, which we could all dream and imagine about. But with a protective jacket over top, you do have that mesh, which is going to do just the same thing. 2 hand warmer pockets, 1 on each side, and then, like I said, nice clean lower hem. It's reinforced on the inside, but it is still mesh on the outside. You can turn to the side for me, hit that riding position. One thing to call out the riding position, you see all this mesh at the tricep that we didn't get a shot of in the front, but really just helps breathe and get all that hot air from the armpits rolling out of the jacket. 450 denier runs down the entire side, as well as a Velcro adjuster, 1 on each side, just to cinch in the waist. I will say I would have loved to see a bit of stretch coming down the outer shoulder blade, just to give a little bit more movement for those aggressive riders out there. Anybody hitting the super aggressive riding positions on like a sport bike, you want to make sure you have that mesh running down the side. You can turn to the back for me. Up at the top, more 450 denier polyester, a little bit of foam reinforcement at the top. It's going to be comfortable, especially if you're in a more tuck riding position. You have a little bit more reinforcement there, and a reflective A-Stars logo at the upper spine. Matching the front though, as much mesh as you could possibly put on the back. You do have a huge panel, enough space for that back protector as well. We always recommend adding one in there. That's going to be a key area to protect. Most jackets don't come with them, so you can always add it into the pocket inside there. And a drop seat, no foam reinforcement to it, so it's a nice soft drop seat, but if you cinch in the sides, it's going to be able to hold its place on your riding jeans. Go ahead and turn to the front. Let's open it up and show them the interior, which, shocker, is going to be a lot more mesh to match the exterior to help flow that air through. I do like the accent stitching on the inside just to have that little pop if you are running with it slightly open, but it's mostly mesh with a storage pocket. You get a waterproof pocket over on the left-hand side, which is classic Alpinestars. If you get caught in a rainstorm, you want to tuck your wallet or your phone away, you have the option to do that and still make it home or make it to the nearest overpass, which I think we've all been in that situation. You do have belt loops at the back. You can run a belt loop from your riding jeans or just loop it through the belt harnesses themselves or attach it to riding pants. I like that. Helps keep the jacket and pants together so they don't slip apart in the event of a slide and expose the backside of your skin. Trust me, I've been there. You do not want to have that happen, so I like that they're including that. You can go ahead and zip it up, Norm. But there you have the C-1 Air. Again, very feature light when we talk about everything and look at it compared to, say, something a little bit more advanced or a little bit more expensive. But again, $170. It's going to be the key part for, I think, a lot of riders out there considering it. Comes in 5 different colorways. Really is a clean style with the accents and the 2 different colors, even the A-Stars reflective logo on the front. So I dig where A-Stars is going with it. I like that they're offering a women's option down to the 2 extra small size, as well as a men's up to the 5 extra large. I think it just plays really well to a lot of different riders out there. But if you want more information, go ahead and click that info button. It's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the C-1 Air. If you're kind of curious about other options, curious on fit or adding a Tech Air system, give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining Norman and I and checking out the all-new Alpinestars C-1 Air jacket. I'm Pat. I'll see you in the next video.